like one clip to another clip. Podcasts, it's just
see.
you have to just listen to everything in order to know where you are.
Yeah.
So in a way, I think it's a lot harder. You can't like take visual cues.
Damn, my man is just finessing the hours, my guy.
That's
Look,
crazy though, 10 hours.
I need my hours. I
How many do
need
you have?
5.
He's 35
Not including my tutor session hours. I don't know how
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
get 8 hours in like 5
tutoring?
weekdays. Yeah.
You gotta do what does, and he tutors for 3 hours.
Yes.
Tutors for 3 hours. He's honestly he's there for like an hour, and the rest of it is just he's like hanging around with the friends with the person he's tutoring.
No, that's genius. Do you have any people, Kevin?
No.
Oh.
Do you have any people? That sounds
So
like slavery.
to be fair, William, you can probably get more people now that finals are coming up. You can start advertising them for finals. You know, be like, for finals. You know?
Yeah, but it's due in a week. It's due the 30th.
Is it actually? Is it actually?
That is a good
Pretty
point.
sure. Yeah.
Wow.
That is a good point. It is due by June 1st.
Like, how many
Oh.
hours do you guys have?
Neither of them are in NHS. I think.
Yep.
Oh shoot.
Just me and you, William.
Oh, man. So we're really, and I assume you have 10 hours, Kevin, or 8 hours.
I have 28 tutoring hours.
Jeez. And you say you don't have people? Where'd all these people come from, Kevin?
People just come to me, man.
Oh,
I don't even do any
Kevin's just
advertising.
in high demand, William.
I'm just in high
Yeah.
demand. No?
I mean,
That
he's
Chad.
Chinese. You know, that's like a plus already.
Okay.
Yo.
You don't have to.
Oh, so he's like what are you, like second place in our grade or something?
Yeah. True.
No, it's because I'm Chinese. It's because I'm Chinese. That's why, Daniel. Right?
Definitely not second.
Racially
No.
motivated.
You know, I was taking my AP bio test.
Daniel using his new
Yeah, I'm smart.
You know, I was taking my AP bio test, and you know, right?
Yeah.
She was sitting next to me, and I was giving out like pencils to everyone because no one brought pencils apparently for an AP test.
so funny.
And so I brought like 10 because knowing me, I bring 10. So I gave some out. And then I was like, after the AP test during the break, we were talking about how hard it was, and I was like, the multiple choice wasn't that bad, which honestly it wasn't that bad. And she was like, it's because you're Chinese. I'm like, what? Sorry, so are you?
The only reason why she can say that is because she's Chinese.
She's such a Chinese. I'm like, wait, so are you? Hold up, doesn't work. It's like the Spider-Man. It's like the Spider-Man meme was like, wait, but so are you?
Wait, that's actually so funny. So, welcome everyone to episode 2 of the Forecast podcast. I'm your host, Will, and here we have. Introduce
We're
yourself.
supposed to say our names ourselves.
right.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start then. I'm Minsun.
Hi, I'm Daniel. You're a professional procrastinator.
Oh, he gets a bio too.
Yeah, and I'm the only one returning from the first episode, Kevin. So
Oh,
there's that
Kevin.
continuity.
Yeah. We all love Kevin.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about senior year because we're all seniors and we love being seniors, right, guys?
Wow.
That's greatest realization I had this entire year was, wow, I'm a senior. Senior year is quite a large topic, so I'm sure there's a ton of stories to go around, in that front at least. Well, I guess we can start with the obvious, right? Like, how does it feel after going through the schooling system for basically your entire life, finally ending up at a place where technically you could call our graduation this year our final graduation, because technically anything we do after this is no longer mandated by the world.
True. Wait, do you guys still try in your classes?
Too much so. Probably less so
Well,
than it should.
that's-
Yeah.
Speak for yourself, Kevin. That's the thing. I entered senior year, like, with senioritis. Like, I didn't develop senioritis. I started the year with strong senioritis. That's just
Hell
stayed
yeah.
like level the entire year. Because even since middle school, I've known that I would have really bad senioritis, right? Like, I predicted that early, like very early.
You
And
knew
so I
yourself
was like,
too well.
yeah, exactly. So literally, like at the start of senior year, it just, again, like
You knew it was gonna happen.
my like level of effort has stayed pretty consistent through all of senior year. Not because I didn't get senioritis, because I started with senioritis and it just stayed the same. So
So start low, stay consistent. You know, that's a good strategy.
Yeah.
exactly. But
Consistency
in a
is
way, I
key.
feel like that's better than like
Consistency.
starting out really strong and then by the end of the year just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because at
Well,
least
that's a
there's like
hard
some
argument.
routine.
I don't know about that. That's a hard
Well,
argument
no,
to make.
because I'm not doing poorly. I'm simply
Existing.
not caring
Mm.
as much as I did before, so I'm less stressed.
Yeah.
I'm like doing just enough.
So would you say like it's like the medium level? So like instead of like going from like high to low, like, effort wise, it stays medium.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Okay, so
meant.
it's
Yeah.
nice
So I
constant.
started
Okay,
medium and stayed medium.
stayed medium. You know that's not bad. That makes
Okay,
sense.
whereas probably before, like earlier in high school, I would have started high and then maintained high for as long as possible until I like
Mm.
crashed.
Sorry.
Right,
You
right.
said maintained high. I just thought about.
Bro.
William.
Sorry. Uh,
Mr. Ice.
anyways. Yes.
Yeah, but for me at least, I think senioritis would have hit me, except for the fact that I literally couldn't get senioritis because of like the schedule I set for this year. So every single time I wanted to take a break, I couldn't
Yeah.
because of the responsibilities. Ooh, that's a big word.
Yeah, dude.
Trust me, that's the problem, Kevin.
That's the main
You
thing.
are like, if I have things to do, I must do them.
I must do them. Yes.
So you're like, I didn't even have time to get senioritis. Dude, I didn't have
Uh
time to get senioritis either. I just got it anyway.
huh. He got it anyways.
Exactly.
No, Kevin just has an immunity. You know,
Yeah,
he's
I
built
think
in.
so.
Hey, to
I
be fair,
personally think so.
at this point of the year, it's kind of impossible not to get it because of how like the slow slope of events starting to thin out and not much happening as I guess much academically, mainly for me. But of course,
All our exams are
they're
over.
all all our exams are over, which
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
at least that's a positive.
Daniel, did you take any APs this year?
Well, IB English like the Baron one, but
Yeah,
that's about
the
it.
essay. We all took that
That
here, right?
was a crazy 2 hours. That was on our opening night, William.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that was like I was like still sick, and the only reason I
Yeah.
came to school that day was because we had an IB
Drugged up on pain
exam,
medication.
and I wrote 2 essays, and then we went to. Well, you took
Yeah.
2 exams though, right, William, that day?
Oh yeah, I
Did you
took
take
IB
HL
math. Yeah,
math?
part 3,
Yeah,
and then I had to take Baron.
The English
and
math,
then you
yeah.
had your opening night,
Yeah.
Opening night for our school's musical.
Wow. Yeah, musicals.
which is
Oh,
now
Yeah.
thankfully over,
holy
and
smoke.
I have my life back.
Your
After
life
it was
back.
held captive for 5 months.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have your 3 hours of after school back.
I think the IB exam is the most I've written consistently for the longest time I think ever in my life. I don't think I've ever written by hand that much
2
in a
hours.
single
Yeah.
sitting.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know, because I usually am not good with like long periods of writing because I'm like a slow writer and my hand just I just write slowly. Like it's just I'm not one of those people who can just keep writing like just physically. But maybe like specifically that day, I don't know. I was just like I like barely noticed it. Like
Mm.
after my hand didn't hurt at all, which is weird because after like other AP exams where I wrote a lot, like where I had to write for 2 hours straight, my hand did very much hurt. I don't know, maybe it was because I was sick and like delirious, but like I didn't feel like I'd been writing for
You
2 hours. Like I was drained.
block out the pain.
Yeah, I
Block
think
out it.
so. Well, I think I was like almost I was prioritizing one pain over another like the other pain. So I
The
didn't
writing
even
wasn't a
process
problem.
the other pain. The first pain being how sick I was.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, on your opening night too. That was a rough
That's
day
what I
then.
mean, because I had to
A rough
conserve
day.
my energy. So I had to like I had to I had priorities and the priority was not IB English.
Was not the IB English exam. Not gonna lie,
Survival.
neither was mine. And I didn't even have anything that day. So
Wait, was I the? Cause when I was taking the exam, I spent like 30 minutes pre-writing for the first one.
no,
Really?
I did pre-writing. I did pre-writing. I didn't spend 30 minutes per se. I spent like 10, 15 minutes I'd say on pre-writing. Because I'm the type of writer that if I don't have an outline to write, I'm screwed. I cannot write. So I will always, at
It's
least by hand, I will always do an outline, like even if it's like a rough outline. I want to get it structured down. This way, I know what I'm going to be writing when I'm actually doing it.
it's because you're so STEM oriented. Um, all my
Yeah,
STEM
yeah.
friends are like that, and then all my like artistic friends hate outlines. And I
They
think
just go.
I fall somewhere in the middle, which makes sense, like intuitively. But
Hmm.
I fall somewhere in the middle because I like an outline, but I hate being forced to do an outline. So like, like I really, if like a teacher mandates that you do an outline, I can't do it because I'm like,
Yeah,
Uh,
no,
I
because
feel
I just need
that.
my thoughts are my thoughts. Like I
that's
just need
true.
to
That's
start
true.
I
writing.
see.
I
So,
think I think that's why I actually really like the format of the IB exam because
oh,
it's
of
so
course you do,
it's
STEM.
it's it's so it's so like no,
No
but
one predicted that.
surprisingly not because of that. It's because it's so unspecific. Like they literally give you an essay and tell you just to write. Like
That's true, but
I
the
think I like
format,
the fact
the
that I get
AQE
that.
format is so strict.
Oh right, that AQA format. I
Like
know.
the answer
I
paper.
also like. So I think you're right about that part.
Mhm.
Wait, I didn't even use AQE. I just did what I did for the SAT essay.
Oh
Like all the
wait, you use the SAT essay format?
yeah, no,
Isn't
because
it?
I mean it's similar. Like you start out with a quote and then you explain the quote, so it's basically the same thing, right? But
Yeah,
like
but like, I mean, yeah, fair enough.
I,
That's
I
not
don't know.
But
that's
like,
not
what
bad.
did you like? Because we spent 2 years doing AQE only in that class. Why did you like not do it for the essay?
Well,
He was like,
I
he was
I
like,
think it was similar enough, and just the fact like AQA is fine, but I feel like it doesn't go into enough depth or like enough specific. How do you say that word?
specific
Specificity.
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 Yeah,
That's a hard word. Specific
specificity. Wait, you say it.
Speci
specificity.
Specificity.
Uh,
Specificity.
Yes.
for
Wow.
people who grew up in
Maybe English
America trying to learn
iceberg.
English.
Well, we
Hey,
know who's good at English here of the four
yeah.
of us.
Who's the non-STEM kid?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
uh,
but like
back,
yeah, like my siblings, they instilled like all their SAT knowledge into me. So I was just like, oh, this isn't so hard. Like, you start with the quote, then you talk about, then you paraphrase the quote really quick, and then you explain the author's point of view, and then you explain how it affects the reader, and then you circle back to the thesis. And
oh,
that to me was a much better
so basically,
sound.
you just use AQE with extra steps.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically.
Because I feel like if everyone writes the AQE format, like it's not gonna be special. But if I do something more than the AQE, they're gonna be like,
Bro.
"Oh, this guy, he knows what he's talking about."
Impressing
The gr-
IB grade holders.
the IB graders and be like, wow, this is special, especially
Making
that.
yourself
Give it
known.
it just gives you like a zero.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it's better than like AP grading like outlines. Have you seen like the AP rubric of like the essay grading?
I haven't actually.
For
How's that work?
world
Yeah.
history, I think
Ew.
our history teacher was telling
Ew.
us how AP graders they have to grade so strictly to the rubric that as long as the person who's doing the work hands in like the specific points that they grade the rubric requires, they get full points. So he was my teacher was talking about how he had to grade a test once where the student didn't even write an essay for an essay. They wrote like a bulleted list, but
What?
because the bulleted list had like every single part of the requirements, they had to give a full score,
Oh my
even
god.
though it wasn't even an essay.
Wait, sorry, you're telling me I could have done that for my DBQs
No,
and no
please
one told
don't.
me?
No, I think my teacher was going to bring up like killing himself, but like he had to
Wait,
give a
Well, no,
Arod?
but if he
yeah,
was still
he had
if
to
he
give
was
like max
forced to
score
give
because
it
yeah,
like
because it had all the stuff that rubric required, and that's how they had to grade.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
exactly, why didn't no one tell me I could have done that?
because it's wrong.
Of course
Because
it's wrong, but it clearly
Objectively
it
incorrect.
still worked.
it's, I mean, yes, but doesn't it feel wrong writing bullet points instead of an essay?
Yes, it feels wrong, but it worked. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. That's what I'm saying.
She's saying that she
Okay.
could have done that if she wanted to, but even though it's objectively incorrect. Um, but yeah,
Guys, let's like stop talking about exams.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was
We're
just
like
gonna,
that's like
I was,
done.
I was
Let's
just
like
gonna say, yeah, let's get out of this
this
territory
is like
before we
ew.
come.
Like let's
We
move
we
on.
just got out of it, so no point going back.
This is why I
So
didn't want to talk about college applications. Let's like just move on.
Alright.
yeah. So with exams aside, now we've entered the true feeling of senior year for me at least. I don't think I've ever felt as much of a senior as these past few weeks.
You've been busy, right,
That's
Kevin?
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
I've been trying to manage my own clubs. Of course, not to the degree that a few other you guys were with theater, but still to somewhat of a pretty busy schedule of trying to manage my clubs and also my own personal academics. As I said before I was mocked that I've still been trying my academics. Senioritis has not hit me until now. And now it has hit me. Like I feel it now.
Good.
Like it's always been in the background. Good. It's always been in the background, but like now it's like it's starting to grasp. It's starting to get a hold on me. Like this week, it was my first time. One of my assignments wasn't turned in on time.
Oh.
By like an hour.
An hour.
Because
Oh no.
the stupid Spanish
William and
requirement.
William and his 70 averages.
Oh my god.
Oh, I only
Can't
had
relate.
like 170 average, and that was junior year because I was taking 2 Arod classes.
Oof.
See,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, because Arod, he gives 70s if you don't submit the work at
Yeah,
all,
at all.
which is like
Oh.
crazy generous.
Yeah.
But
That is
like,
pretty generous, man.
but
Holy
like,
cow.
so William, that means for one whole marking period last year, you didn't submit any work for that class.
I think he submitted a little bit. I think he got like a little bit in. Just
No, the fourth marking period. No,
Okay, no,
because
but that's
my,
fair. My average fourth marking period was also really bad compared to the
Yeah.
others.
No, actually,
Well.
I heard this year, like, cause I'm in Spanish with like a bunch of the IB kids. They were saying how they were like having 70 averages for like their marking period.
Oof.
I was like, what? I thought I was
Dude,
the only
it's
one
like
who procrastinated.
no, no,
that.
no. I take AP GoPo, and it's all seniors except one junior.
Oh,
Shout out to Hannah,
Oh,
who
Hannah.
made a mistake. Yeah, who made a mistake. But so we're awful. We are awful. So like submitting things wise, we are awful. Which is, I mean, to be fair, predictable since it's like a bunch of seniors, you
Mhm.
know? But like it's like really bad.
Holy
But
cow.
I don't know.
I-
I'm especially like now the only like the big things left for us are like prom and graduation. So
Yeah,
it's like what's the point of anything else? Like we know where we're going to college.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
It's
like
like
I
it's
agree.
like
I think that's the thing where actually a quick tangent it reminded me of their GoPo story. I was my friend Michelle was telling me how like in Calc AB did I do a project for Mr. Yoon, the math teacher. And no one wanted to do work with the seniors. Like the class is like half juniors, half seniors, and literally every junior apparently just avoided like the seniors as much as possible because
Why?
they wanted to get a grade because to them it still mattered, and they didn't want to have a senior who just didn't do anything. So that reminded me that poor Hannah in that class, surrounded by a swarm of seniors with senioritis.
yeah,
So that is what it is.
yeah, whatever.
Senioritis hits.
But
Wait.
I feel like prom, like I never thought prom would be like such a because I never cared about prom growing up, like at all. I didn't
Me
really
neither.
like I literally did not care at all. But oh my God, the amount of drama that
Oh,
has like been in my life because of like just like again, because I like know a lot of people like or like I have a lot of friends who like have their own like friend groups and stuff. So I hear a lot of things about like
the
just like
drama that
separately,
happens.
like you
Oh
know,
wait, so
just like about a
is it
bunch
like
of other people.
is it like secondhand drama? Like you just hear stuff?
Yeah,
Secondhand
there's so much
drama.
secondhand drama, like regarding prom. It's insane. Like with like prom dates,
Yeah,
Oh
prom
man.
tables,
Bruh.
I
and
mean,
like after proms, it's like prom houses. It's insane.
I
Like I
think
didn't think it would be this but it's like it's intense.
Can
I
you
just
enlighten
every
us?
day I just hear new things about my friends and their prom drama. It's like,
Minsun,
oh my God.
enlighten us. Tell us some.
Huh?
No, this is a
No.
podcast. People will be listening.
It's okay, I'll just censor the whole thing.
we
Okay, so basically, I'm just gonna just so we haven't talked for 5 minutes about nothing. Nathan, one of our friends who's gonna sit at our table, is no longer sitting at our table because he has a date now.
Yes.
Um,
That's kind
and
of that's like the very big TRDR where it's
yeah,
just
exactly.
yeah.
And Kevin has been left heartbroken.
So with prom and graduation left essentially, those being the main events, nothing is really left of the year like substantial. They're all like kind of one-off events that require very much social interaction that I'm not used to
Ew.
compared to normal. So it's kind of a shock for me to just
Oh,
suddenly
yeah.
have so many events lined up in a row, like field trips with classes, like a dinner, like dinner meets with like some certain groups,
Dinner.
the main events of the year basically. It's pretty crazy to suddenly have all this stuff, and I think that's the main thing that makes me feel like more of a senior like than ever before over the entire year basically, because of the fact that it essentially it captures what to me being a senior is like, where it's just less about academics after college, it's more so just attending all these like social stuff as you wrap up
Kevin's
the year.
becoming a social butterfly. We shall congratulate him.
Congratulations.
I
Like,
feel
Finally.
like I've never seen my friends more than
yeah.
I have this like
Absolutely,
last month.
absolutely. I've
Like
seen
I
much
just
people.
every weekend. It's just every single day. We don't have school or like every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like another thing. Because I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, because we're all going to college soon, and everyone's we
of
have
course.
to squeeze it all in now. But like it's like crazy. It's just like if you like looking at I'm looking at my calendar right now, and so like I have like all my events that are sort of like completely not academic related are in a very like one color, and it's like intense.
It's like all that color.
It's like it's just every single day. Um,
It's not too
which is
popular with too many people. Know so many
that's
people.
literally not what I'm talking about. And besides, you guys, there are 3 birthdays this month, like in our
That's
friend
true.
group.
That
So
is
that's
true.
like
That's true.
definitely that's like a big part of it.
That is true. That
Um,
is true.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the main thing for me, at least for senioritis hitting me because of all like club. Like, I think main thing for me, another big thing I kind of forgot about is clubs ending. For you guys, theater ended like last week. Like for us, the clubs are ending all like beginning of June because our June schedule is so whack. Like that's something we can talk about. How tight our June schedule is just for school. Like the final exam season is so packed into June that there's literally no time after the 8th, basically. I think the 8th is like the last day, or it's the 7th, like the last day. That's like a normal.
put finals into my calendar. Whoa, you just reminded me.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Wait, when
sorry.
is finals?
The 8th, the 9th, and then the 10th we skip because the orchestra has a trip.
Right.
And
Six
and
Flags.
and that's actually the reason why they can't. Like we were talking to Miss Glynn, and that was actually the reason why they couldn't do finals that day because
Really?
so many people in the orchestra were leaving that they
That's
just couldn't.
so
They just couldn't
funny.
do it. Like there was I think there's like 90 like 80 people total, something like that, and that's like a good chunk of the school.
Yeah.
So they just decided not to do it that day, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then come back Monday, which is the 13th, 14th, 15th.
And then
Yeah.
16th is
Last
And then
week.
prom.
16th
Yeah,
is prom.
and
Well,
it's
that's
16th
why they
prom.
did it like
That's
that because they
crazy.
didn't want us to have
Yeah.
finals
Like
during prom.
You're right.
yeah,
So literally, finals start basically at the beginning of June. And
essentially
then,
on the 8th, and
yeah,
then it goes
and
through, and
then
then prom happens,
the
and then weekend after that,
second finals end is prom, and
essentially,
then exactly a week after prom is the
is
last day of
graduation.
school and graduation.
Like
Holy
So,
cow.
and
Wow.
and the entirety of the last week are all like half days. So
Yeah,
like
except for
there's
Monday.
except for that
wait,
one Monday.
wait, really? I did not know
Yeah,
that.
Monday's a regular day, and then
And then
Tuesday,
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday.
yeah, are all half days. Thursday
I
doesn't
had
even matter to us.
no idea.
Thursday is like we spend all day at the we're gonna do prep for graduation practice, so it
Oh.
doesn't even count as a school
Really?
day. I think that's what I
Kevin, why
heard.
do you know all these things? Why do I not know all these things?
Oh.
You have your networks, I have my own networks, and so
William. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel. You
What's
missed.
up?
Wait, I'm talking. Yeah, Daniel.
you
You
just
missed
gaslit
earlier.
William.
You missed earlier. It's because I was like, who was missing earlier? William for an hour and a half.
Not because
But
I
it was
overslept.
Daniel who didn't hear this. After you left
Mm-hmm.
to go to dinner, I was just Kevin and I were still chatting about like the academic awards dinner, which is in two
Mhm.
days, and
Right.
I was like, literally, because we all have been invited to this thing, we all paid the checks for our parents to come and whatever, but like I have literally no idea what happens or like how it works or what the awards are, like what awards
Oh
people
yeah.
get.
I
So
think
I asked Kevin, and he gave me like a breakdown of exactly what goes on, and exactly what awards there are. And so I feel like this is so like I have all the gossip, and then Kevin has all the school details.
Correlated,
I,
yeah.
I have
Yeah.
the I have the school related information.
You
Which
can
is very
Yeah.
helpful, by the way. Thank you. You're always
Yeah.
very reliable in
And
that. You
the,
breaks it
always
down.
like I learn things and I'm or like when we have like weird delayed opening schedules, you're the person I turn to.
That is true.
this is the two sides. Like the on the left you have Kevin, the STEM nerd, and on the right you
Yeah,
have
that's what I was
Minsun,
thinking.
the liberal arts major. It's
Yeah.
like the marriage of heaven and hell.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I don't even remember who wrote that. Who was it?
William Blake.
William Blake. That was his name. Yeah.
Who's
What,
No.
it was William Blake. I'm pretty sure it was William Blake.
Wait, no.
Wait, who's
Because the
Wordsworth?
person who wrote that was three
Ah.
Hmm?
I think it was a collaboration between people, right?
Hold on, let's
I
search
don't,
this up.
hold on.
Marriage.
Because wasn't the marriage of Oh, it was by William
Blake.
Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then-
Oh.
The only author I actually remember clearly was Samuel Coleridge, who wrote The Ancient Mariner, because that was a whole like 2 weeks or 3 weeks of English assignments.
Wow, imagine reading that and actually doing the question.
No, I can relate to Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel,
What?
didn't you listen to like the same document like 7 times
Oh
in a
yeah,
row?
absolutely. And the first two words were like Beowulf, I think, or something.
What?
If you ever read it, it's just like, oh.
Wait, did Baron
So-
give you hundreds for that?
Wait, did he grade that?
He didn't put grades in yet, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
he didn't.
In classic Baron fashion.
Bro,
Yeah. I
but
didn't
Danny,
realize how much.
you better be sweating when you put grades in.
William,
Oh, I didn't realize how much Baron procrastinates. Like, I thought Arod was bad, but no, Baron is also bad.
But
yeah.
Baron's worse.
I think Baron's worse.
Really?
I think I think he's the last placer that hasn't put grades in for me yet. I think all my other classes have put grades in. In fact, it's so bad
Really?
that another thing, Vincent, for if you want to know for useful information, senior final exemption forms are out. So if you
I
want to
know.
stop
Oh,
by
that I know.
okay, okay,
I got one
Okay.
because
okay,
my
okay.
Sojung dropped one off for me.
Aw.
So I have one. Um,
Uh,
and it's like over 93, right? And it's
Yeah,
two
yeah.
classes.
Yeah.
I have to, the thing is to choose, like to submit the form, I have to first like learn what my teacher's finals are, and they're all being
Mhm.
so annoying.
mm,
They're all being so cryptic, or they're like, I'm trying to get this approved, but like, so I don't know. When are they due again?
June 1st.
June 1st,
Oh, really?
I believe.
Oh, that's pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Um,
week. A little more than a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that brings me back to what I was saying. And that so if you didn't, I think as you know, Minsun, if you want to exempt a final, you have to put in your marking period 4, 3, 2, and 1 grades. I'm exempting my English final. He hasn't put any grades in, so I can't write down the marking period 4 grade because I don't have any grades.
Oh, that's funny. But to be fair, I feel like I never have any grades in my grade book until like a month before the marking period ends. Like if I looked at my Genesis now, last time I checked, which was yesterday, there were like 2 grades in of like all my classes.
Oh my.
Because all of my teachers, that's just not how they roll, I guess. Because I have like Pokoi.
Yeah, you have all the
and
you have
I
all
no,
the
I have all the teachers in that like clique of of social science
Yeah.
teachers who like don't do anything until like 2 weeks before the marking period ends.
yeah.
So I just
I
don't have
mean-
any grades in ever. Oops.
I mean, we need to get them signatures, like their signatures as well. So I guess we can just ask them to give us a grade when we get the signature. Just give us a grade. Just make it up on the spot. Just so I can exempt. Do you have any ideas for what finals you're exempting, guys?
Mm.
Do you guys know what finals you want to exempt at this point?
Wait,
See,
hold
when
on.
you
Like,
asked me that, I straight up forgot. I was like, what classes do I take?
wait, like
I swear I know. I
Yeah.
don't know why I like forgot. Someone else go first. I have
let's
to
say
go
you
check.
have like a 93 in a class, and like so like they sign it off, right? And you
Mhm.
turn it in, but by the time it becomes finals, like the grade like drops. Do you think are you still exempt?
Yeah, they signed
'Cause-
it.
Yeah, because they can't change that because you like this form is due June 1st. So
Yeah.
what can they do about that?
They probably won't go back and check again.
Yeah.
There's too much work for each student.
Sweet.
Daniel.
Because I have an exam
So
for physics this
basically,
week, and
Ooh.
I have clocked out for like a month.
Basically, you got to get the signature fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to
yeah.
be a chill teacher. It's fine.
Imagine they're
So
like, oh,
basically,
just wait until the exam's over.
so what this really means is we can like clock out after
June 1st.
June 1st.
June 1st. Yeah, yeah.
Because after that, whatever. There are no stakes anymore. There are no
Yeah.
there's no reason to do well.
Like even more so now with finals being passed, like the exemption.
Yeah.
So wait, so
Yeah.
then so you are you exempting accounting and physics?
Probably physics and maybe IB English.
IB English. That makes
Either
sense.
that or like psychology. Depends
Are we
on
are we
what-
all doing IB English exemption?
What is our IB English final?
And yesterday, I think.
So Mr. Barron was telling me that it's basically going to be an essay, or like, maybe two essays. I think it was either one or two, and basically he's going to give us like he's going to spread out all the stuff we read across 2 years and make us pick two and compare them or something like
Holy.
that, or like find some random theme that relates to all of them or something.
Oh
So
no,
that-
no, I'm out.
That's basically our oral commentary.
Essentially, a oral commentary, but with writing.
I hate that.
And I was
Okay.
and I heard that and I was like, well, I know which one I'm exempted for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
Okay, then I'm just purely out of laziness. I'll probably accept that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And then I really don't want to take, because that's the thing. I have a lot of classes that are really easy, like where I know the final's going to be easy as long as I study for like 2 hours the night
Yeah.
before, and I'm just too lazy to study for those 2 hours.
Hmm.
So I have to weigh my options carefully. But right now it's looking like either forensics or law is going to be the other exemption.
Really interesting. Okay. For
Forensics
writing
just
this.
because she's so annoying. Like, oh my God, I can't say that here.
Hmm.
My teacher is very, so she's new. This is her second year teaching at Fort Lee, and so she's uptight. She's like young, and so it's sort of just new teacher vibes. Like she's just
New
she's
teacher
sort of
vibe.
it's sort of like sixth grade classroom. Like
Vibes.
it's very strict. It's very sort of
I
like she
see.
sort of yells at the class, and it's just so she's very uptight
Tight on the class. Tight on the class.
about tests and stuff, and so it's just
Basically, it clashes with with your senioritis, and
Yes,
and we don't like and we don't like.
Sixth
we don't
grade.
like
There you
I
go.
have
Yeah.
I've maintained like her like I keep getting like there's no reason I should have anything lower than like an A plus in that class, you know, at any given moment. Because in all my tests, all my everything, I always do really well. And I participate a lot and I do everything. My homework's never late because I know how strict she is about that. But then I'll get like an 80 on like a formative and it'll bring it down to like a 96.
What?
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like I don't know why I get the 80 on the formative. It's probably like it's sort of she doesn't grade anything by completion. So
Oh, it's all by
basically
accuracy.
because she's, you know,
Yeah,
a
right,
new
yeah.
teacher and
Yeah,
she's, you
yeah.
know, whatever. So it's just I feel like my chances of getting away with not studying for law and still doing well are higher
I see. I
than
see.
for because Purcoy doesn't care. Honestly, I miss law like all the time. Like I just come to class 10 minutes before it ends, and he's never once marked me
Doesn't bat
absent
an eye.
the entire year. So
But Coy like looks over at the end of the class. He's like, "Yeah, she's here."
because he doesn't do attendance, and I promise it's not that he doesn't notice I'm gone because I'm like the only one who speaks in that class. But like I don't. He's something else. So literally, because so several times this year I've just fully skipped the class.
Oh
But
yeah, you
there
were
was
talking about. Sorry,
yeah,
go
a
ahead.
couple weeks ago, so I just did it again where I came to class probably 5 minutes before the bell rang. I was like, sorry. Which is actually it's funny because the reason I missed that class is because I'm staying behind in Arod to listen to participate in the TOK class. So it's really for like it's just me being a nerd. Like it's me not going to class because I'm a nerd,
He's skipping classes for
Another
for
academic
other
class.
classes,
for academic
other more
purposes.
challenging classes. Like,
Exactly.
so it's like, but basically, so I walk in 5 minutes before the bell rings, and I'm like, sorry. And then so before I leave for a third period, he's like, I'm like, so he's like,
So
you kind of missed the whole class, and because I think what I said was, sorry, I was late, and then he was like, late, you missed the whole class, and I was like, well, you can mark absent, and he's like, why would I do that?
he's like
So
unreasonable.
really, he's encouraging this, So like, what does he expect me to do?
I think it
Keep
helps
showing
that
up?
I think it
Like,
helps that Arod doesn't care about Pokoi either, so he
well,
just lets
because
you do it.
Arod has never once like told me, even like as a joke, go to class. Like like go to your next class. I sit there and I stay there and he like actively involves me in the class
Aw.
in the class that I'm not in.
He just
So
accepts
like
it. He just accepts it.
so basically everyone's fine with this arrangement. No one's
It's
stopping.
a
No
it's a
one's
win-win-win.
encouraging me to
Oh,
stop doing this.
win-win-win.
Everyone's actively encouraging me to keep doing it.
You
So
know what?
really, whose fault is that?
Good on them for wanting you to learn.
You know what? Yeah, good on them for promoting self-academic achievement in different
Yes.
classes.
Exactly.
This is
No,
what we need
literally.
more of. Forcing people to go to class, ridiculous.
No, but I think if any class, it should be TOK that you
Yeah.
sacrifice it. Because
Yeah.
TOK is actually such an informative class, in my personal opinion.
It's a very fun class to involve
I
discussion
remember
with.
it's the thing, I took TOK last year. It's like it was virtual, and
Right.
then we didn't get through as much of the curriculum. So
Yeah.
now that they're doing stuff I never did, uh I'm like, what? I want to stay. And then
Yeah.
so he started giving me passes. Because I was like, can you just give me a pass? Like so I can like officially so I'm not like cutting class. And he was
So
like,
she
sure.
can officially
Uh
skip
yeah.
class.
Yeah. So um yeah, basically,
Nice.
literally everyone's encouraging me to just stay in the stupid class. Like, stay in
Hey,
stupid TOK
I,
instead
I,
of
I
going to my
approve. I think
actual
it's a
class.
good academic behavior
Yeah,
to
yeah.
engage in subjects you like.
Wait, Minsun, it's second
William.
period, right?
Yeah, I have GoPo first period.
Am I also allowed to? Because I have tutorial and I don't care about his class anymore.
Well, if you want to cut class and come, I doubt he'll stop you. You know?
Can I also
He'll
get a
probably
pass
won't
though?
be like, hey, go back. He'll probably just be like, what are you doing here? The first time you come. And then
Yeah.
after that, he'll probably just be like,
Oh,
okay.
It's
Integrate
William
into
again.
society.
Oh yes, the kid who submits
Yeah.
every assignment late. Welcome
He's
back.
like, oh, you're back. Are you back to submit your assignments?
No, every time we meet, he always shames me. Like that's the one thing he says. Like shame for not taking my classes and also like failing my TOK
Yeah,
class.
same for me. He whenever I see him in the hallway, I greet him. He goes, Mr. Ding, and then shame for not taking his classes. I'm like, I try my best to avoid your classes, man. I don't know. I think I'm pretty proud of the fact that I avoided all your classes. I don't know what you're talking.
Yeah, all you
I don't know.
STEM people should be avoiding him like the plague. Like, why, like, because if that's not what you're interested in, it's just gonna be a year of torture.
Exactly. Like
So, like,
I had him for what I needed for history, and I'm good. I was very good class. I think I really liked the class. I actually liked world history because of him. But that's all I needed. That's my dose of Arod, and I'm good. Great teacher, great guy. Uh, that's it.
that's
Thanks.
it.
No more.
Well, thanks. Now
More
we part
STEM, more
ways.
STEM.
Yeah.
More STEM. Yeah,
Okay,
it
but
kind of sucks that
we
this year. I think.
seriously. Sorry, you
Sorry.
continue.
I was just gonna say that it kind of sucks that because of this divide of like humanity, like literal like the humanities versus the STEM classes, I shared like no classes with so many people this year.
Like
So
me,
yeah, with you, Minsun, with a lot of people
because
actually.
I'm taking like 4 social studies classes.
Yeah, Minsun, you were gonna say before?
I was gonna say we've been talking about classes for too long. This is not in the spirit of my senioritis.
We're
Even
going
though I was
against.
talking about skipping class.
Yeah,
We're
no,
deep.
that's senioritis.
Yeah. Wait, I'm curious because I know the three of us, Minsun, Kevin, and I, we're all doing our own little like, academically vigorous or socially vigorous. I wonder, what are you doing, Daniel? Like when you go home from school or
I know the
Hollow
answer.
Knight.
I know the answer to that one.
Yeah. What's the
So,
game you play for like 6 hours?
recently, the past 2 weeks, there's this game called Hollow Knight, and I may or may not commit a few hours worth per day.
More than a few.
I think what was the statistic? What was the statistic you told me last week, Daniel? You got
Okay, so
24,
like last
24
week,
hours in a week, was it?
oh, okay. So last week it was bad. It was 24 hours in like 7 days.
Whoa, that's a
And,
really
and then I
bad.
chilled out. Now it's 36 hours in 14 days, which is like 2 to 3
Okay, but to be
hours per
fair,
day.
he cut the consumption in
That's true.
half.
That's true. He
So
did.
that is
Hey,
impressive.
look, it's progress. Yeah.
Did he finish?
Not close. So like, well, it's like okay, it's like with an asterisk because I did finish like the base, like the regular
So
stuff, but
they're like more
extra
basically.
content, yeah,
Extra
like extra
content, yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that kind of reminds me of myself, and that. So I'm sure you guys can all relate to this. When during the forbidden college application season, all the stuff, all my responsibilities of like my own leisure pastimes, I was like, I'll get to that when I was done, right? So I bought like quite a few books. I wanted to watch a few shows. Basically, all the stuff I do in my free time, I was like, I'll do that when college applications are over, right? And that finished. I was like, oh, I'll do that when the next something's over. And I kept pushing the deadline down to the point where now I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta do all this stuff now, and I don't have the time because there's a month left.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of what Daniel was saying in that sense that I have so much stuff I have to do. Like I have so many books I have to read that I want to read. I have a few games I have to finish, and I have a few shows to watch.
What games? What shows?
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you. To celebrate my graduation, my cousin who was in China bought me a Nintendo Switch OLED
Wow.
across the
Nice.
sea, and this is actually a really fun story. So my cousin, because in China, right, he can't directly pay for the Switch, had to go through the most whack method to get me the Switch.
Right.
Oh my god.
So she used her friend's PayPal account to to like give her other friend who lives in the U.S. money on her behalf that she transferred to her through her own Chinese thing, to then deliver it to me in the U.S. It was wild. Oh, that's W word. I can't say
Person
that
in
word.
China
Oh,
tries to
oh my
buy
gosh, Kerwin.
buy someone a
Wild.
gift.
So, but eventually, after like a week, which is pretty fast for this complicated process, I arrived and I was like, oh shoot. And it was kind of a collaboration between two of my cousins. It was her idea, but she got the financial benefit from my other cousins, and they were very happy. They were really like intending to get me a gift, because I was like, it's okay. It's so complicated of a process. She was like, I never got you anything.
Not okay.
Yeah, she's like, no, it's okay. I never got you anything. I have to get you this. I was like, okay, all right, okay, my bad. So she got me the Switch OLED and she got me Pokemon Arceus,
That's cool.
What is the what?
the OLED. So it's Nintendo. So the Nintendo Switch, right? Like the gaming console.
Yes, remember I learned how to use
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, YouTube, yeah.
I learned
Yeah.
how to open YouTube.
So the Switch OLED was like their refresh a year later. It basically had a better screen and more capabilities, basically, but not by much, just a little bit. Basically, the OLED's the screen.
When I come over, I will turn the power on,
Yeah, and turn
and
YouTube
I
on.
will
Waltzing.
I will yeah I'll yeah we William, you weren't there,
No.
but at Daniel's birthday, I used his Switch to open YouTube, as I mentioned, and then we tried to learn how to waltz on the Switch. It
Listening
was
back
just
on that.
Nathan, Kevin, me, like we were all standing there behind me holding the Switch, like learning the two steps to a waltz.
Now,
It's like a
now,
really weird cult.
now that you tell the story back, it sounds like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that entire day was a fever dream.
That was a
Like
wild
we
day.
spent most of it like spinning on his mom's like spinny thing.
Oh yeah,
I should buy that to you as a
Bro.
birthday present.
that was a
No,
that-
literally. Remember, every time I spun on it, I got like high.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dizzy.
Coming back for more.
No, because I got dizzy, but something about it made me
Yeah.
act really weird.
Yeah.
So like every time I would like get off the spinny thing for a solid like minute or so after,
She felt
I
like
would
she was
be,
drunk.
Weird. Yeah.
So it was
William, you
a
missed some fun times.
it was a
That was
wacky
that was a
day.
really interesting day.
That was a really weird
That was some party. But yeah,
birthday
so
party.
birthday party. But yeah, so that's why I got a Switch, and that's why I'm saying that I have to finish the game. Pokemon Arceus, I played 2 hours of it, and I haven't touched it since. And she got me it in like May, like June. I mean, April. Sorry.
Can't really
So
watch.
You just like malfunction. You just spit out random like months.
oh, wild.
No,
Um,
Kevin, the W
Oh,
word.
Oh
Kevin.
no! I said wild again.
It's spreading.
No, you said it again.
Spreading.
Guys, it's not wild. It's wizard.
Wizard.
Not very wizard of you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I honestly,
Um,
to this day, I still don't understand. Like Alex just said it. I'm like, I don't
Like, yeah,
recall this
where
word.
did that?
I think
Like,
there's
Yeah.
I still don't. He's like, I don't know where he got that.
I think it's just that's the point, right? You're not supposed to understand. You just have to go with it.
Maybe.
It's
It's just
not very
Alex
wizard of you.
things.
That's so wizard.
A wizard of you.
It's just Alex. Don't
Yeah.
question it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's nice having all these goals I set back in during the year that I said I'll do later. But now the fact that it's arrived at time, I'm like kind of feel overwhelmed trying to get them done.
Yeah.
And
that makes
just like balancing on top of basically planning stuff out with friends before we go to college and everything.
Right.
So that's just kind of my life at this point. I think for all of us, essentially, kind of getting that last lap of high school.
Yeah, there are so many things I need to like. Literally, I've been so busy. I haven't had the time to switch out my winter clothes and my summer clothes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Oh.
understand. It's been a month of me just rifling through like the box of summer clothes I have because
And
I
just
haven't
trying to
had the
find something.
time. Yeah. So I've been grabbing like random, because you know how I keep every time we're like together, I have a new like weird like I'm like just pulling pants out of nowhere and trying to find pants. Like, do you know what I'm talking about, guys? Yes?
Sort of.
Maybe.
Yes, I think
Because like I
so.
feel like now all the time I'm just like all my stories of like being like hectic and like hectically trying to get out of the house and be on time involve like just trying to find pants, like pull pants out of somewhere, like like just to have pants to wear,
Just to
like
get summer
shorts to
clothing.
wear. It's because all my summer clothing is still in a box. Because I haven't had the time. Like I haven't had a set like 4 hours for me to be able to like
Sort through.
fully take out everything and fold it
Right,
all
right.
and like
Mm.
throw out or like, not throw out but like put aside everything that's small or that I'm not wearing
Hmm.
like I haven't had that time, so it's just my closet. I have a big closet because I have
Wow.
a big
Wow.
I just say because it's like a really big closet.
Yeah,
um
I think I remember your closet.
yeah, my closet's
It
just
was
really big. It's because I don't know, my house,
extra
like
big.
I just got the room, like when my sister and I switched rooms when she went to college, I got her a massive closet. So, uh, it's just like I've just been struggling. I've been pulling shorts and like today, I woke up and I was like, wow, what do I wear? So I went to my box. I went to my box of summer clothing. Again, I haven't touched anything in my closet in a while. And I rifled through, uh, and I pulled out the first pajama shorts I found because I knew I wasn't going to be leaving the house, and the first tank top I found, and I just put them on.
Mm.
Nice.
So,
All right, so
well,
here's a quick tangent question for all. Let's say you know you're not leaving the house that day, right? Like you guaranteed not to leave the house, right? Would you just get out of bed and just stay in your pajamas all day?
no.
Mm.
I don't think.
Because I don't. Like, and it's funny because when last time before Daniel's birthday, when Nathan came over,
Oh,
Nathan was like,
see, but
"Oh, why are you all dressed up for?" I was like, "This is where I
that's
wear. This is
no,
where
that's fair.
I wear at home." And,
I'm
and
gonna
he was like, "You
defend
wear
him for a
khakis
moment.
at home?"
I'm gonna defend him for a second. When I said no to your question, I meant I basically never, I think like once every like blue moon, do I wake up and like just not change into something else other than what I was sleeping in. And I think that's a product of the pandemic because we spent every single day at home, not going anywhere. So there was no reason to get dressed
Yeah.
into like
Hmm.
actual clothing, like outside clothing. But like, if you like, because we literally didn't have any reason, if I let myself like devolve into like
Default.
some like creature who just wears wears the same pajamas they wore to sleep every single day. Like then that's just,
Yeah.
like you don't like you're not gonna feel motivated to do anything. You're just always gonna feel like
Hmm.
you're like about to go to sleep. or like gonna lay in bed.
Exactly.
So I like took up the habit in the pandemic to make it a point to like same thing that happened today. I changed into pajamas, like from pajamas, like a t-shirt, like a really comfortable
Interesting.
t-shirt and like pajama shorts into like a pajama tank top and pajama shorts, like different pajamas. Because the
So
point
for you,
isn't,
it's more so changing.
yeah, because the point isn't like I would never wear like, you know, like actual like shorts with like a button and a zipper
Right.
and then like an actual shirt I would wear outside. Uh like if I know I'm gonna stay home, because why would I do that? I'm just gonna stay comfortable and happy. But I need to
Hmm.
change so I can feel like fresh, like I'm ready for the
Right.
day, even if the day is just being
Ah,
spent inside doing
that's true.
absolutely nothing. So that is what I meant. I do judge you for wearing khakis in the house, for
Hey,
no reason.
okay. So I actually 100% agree with everything you. Reason why I wear khakis and like for more like for most stuff at home, like not comfortable wear, I should say, because it gets me in the mood of doing things. Like during the pandemic, when I was at every day, if I yeah, same thing with you. If I didn't change, like online school, quote unquote, so I would change every morning just to get the like because if you guys see my room, right? It's like one office slash bedroom kind of thing. There's like no divide between. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to mentally separate the two halves of my room, and one of the ways was dressing up on one half and going to the other half, quote unquote. And that was a part of the mental change of me going, okay, I'm now in like school mode. So that's I relate to what you were saying, where that change itself was part of like the keeping me in like in the mindset of I'm not going to bed again. I'm going getting up for the day, and that's the reason why I still wear like not just like sweatpants and like t-shirts at home. It's like I actually wear like what I would wear if I go out going out because it gets me in the mood of I'm awake now. This is not time for just sleeping in. I'm up for the day. I'll keep working. So that's my
See,
defense.
and that makes sense, and I agree with you there because especially during the pandemic, I had like my pajamas, but then I had like my at-home comfortable clothes. So it's like, so there is a difference, right?
Hmm.
So there's like, you have like, I have like my actual pajamas, and because I have a lot of like Korean pajamas, like they're like not like they're very clearly pajamas. Like you couldn't wear them to school. Like you
Yeah.
can't like in the same way like you know like sweatpants that you would like maybe you would like part of your pajamas is like sweatpants. You can still wear sweatpants to school, and
Right.
no one will be like that's weird, you know.
Yeah.
But like my pajamas, they
Oh,
have
it's like
like
Korean
they
pajamas,
they
like
have they're like
style.
Korean pajamas, so they're like a lot like I mean I mostly the t-shirts are just like normal t-shirts, but like the pants and stuff they have like
Hmm.
cute bunnies on them. You know what I mean? So
Hey,
Yeah.
like
you can rock that at school.
no, I could, absolutely. But I wouldn't wear that to school because that just feels purely, I would be tainting them because they are just so pure
That is true.
and for sleep in my bed only. So I have clothes that are specifically pajamas, and then I have clothes that I don't wear outside, but I wear at home just to be comfortable. And they might as well
Right.
be pajamas. They're
That
just
makes
as
sense. That makes
comfortable.
sense.
They're just like I do have that divide. The only reason I think I said today with the pajama tank top and the pajama shorts is again, we go back to all my summer clothes being in a box. I just pull out whatever I find I first, that will work for the day because I'm not about to like take out like my like stacks of folded clothing and put them and sort through them and put them all back. But that's the reason I'm wearing my day outfit today is still my pajamas technically because I just found the first thing I could.
Actually, I think I agree with both of you when you say that the switch from your pajamas to your day clothes like is a must in order to get into the right mindset. But for me, whenever I so like my morning routine is I get up, get dressed, shower, whatever, I eat. But then after that, I immediately devolve into like prime gremlin mode on my phone watching YouTube all day, and I hate that. So I do everything in my power. Like I'll wake up And then I'll be like, wait, no, we can't start the morning routine yet. I have to play guitar for an hour. I have to code for an hour, and then I can shower, eat, and then devolve into gremlin mode.
That's so interesting.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
You
fascinating.
wake up, play guitar, then code.
yes,
2 hours later,
Psycho.
2 hours later, you wake up like, oh, I'm gonna go brush my teeth now. All right, I'm gonna go shower.
yes.
What? What?
So I
Well,
procrastinate
that's
on doing
fascinating.
bad stuff.
So you
That's
basically
fascinating.
you're like, I know I'm gonna devolve into this gremlin the moment after my routine.
The moment
So
I
I do
get,
everything
like, put
beforehand.
myself
Yeah.
together, I will devolve.
Wow.
Yeah.
Therefore, I must get everything done.
That's such like caveman thinking, man.
That's crazy. That's actually, William, you're fascinating. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I know, like
I
hear,
never would have thought of that, like, ever.
But how do you do that? Like when I wake up, the first thing that comes to my head is I gotta brush my teeth. I gotta get ready. Like I can't deal with the morning feeling to me. Like, bro, if you ask me to get up and start coding for an hour, I don't think I can make it.
Really?
Like I need that like because to me brushing my teeth in the morning and washing my face and just getting ready is like the wake up process for me. That's what gets me waked up. Like that's the way I don't devolve. Like I'm like the opposite. If I don't do that, I'm devolving back into sleeping
I
mode.
see.
See,
So-
I have the tendency to, the first thing I think when I wake up is, wow, my bed is so comfortable. My pajamas are so comfortable. I don't want to leave my bed
Well, I mean,
or my pajamas. So
I
I
think-
prolong that as long as possible. Like I just lay in bed, uh, like
I
as
get-
long as possible.
I get what you mean.
Because it's comfortable and it's nice. And when you wake up in the morning, it's just like you are never more at peace, right? When
Yeah,
you're like blinking
yeah.
awake in the morning and you're like comfortable and your bed is warm and soft and like, you know, and I want to prolong that feeling. I think that's a
100%.
logical, that's like logical. So unfortunately, on weekends, I have a tendency to just stay there like as long as I can. And the only thing that gets me out is how hungry I am because I love
Wow.
I was just gonna say it's probably gonna be food, isn't it?
that is the single reason I don't spend
Yeah.
the entire because once I've gotten out and I've like, you know, because like the first thing I do when I physically leave my bed is, you know, change and brush my teeth and all of that. Once I do that and I go eat, then I'm like ready for the day and I, you know, whatever. But
Mhm.
like it's I just don't want to I don't want to get to that.
I think I've always
Wait,
said that it's
I
the
know
first.
you have like a crazy like your body wakes you up at 6 in the morning sort of thing. So how
Oh
about
yeah,
you?
Daniel.
Yeah, no, well, like, okay. See, it is like the most inconvenient thing because through school days, like, that internal clock kind of stopped working. I think it's like senioritis or something, whatever. But then, like, Friday nights, I like sleep at like 2 a.m. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna like pass out. And I wake up at like 6 a.m. I'm like, like now the internal body
of
clock
all
wakes me up.
times, yeah, it kicks in during the weekend.
And then like I like fall back to sleep and then like I like flip on my phone a bit and I wake up back at like 8 a.m. It's like that's just a little more. But then like I don't know because like you guys say like you just get out of bed when you're like hungry or something. I mean I guess that's reasonable, but like by the time it hits like 10 a.m. I'm like okay like that's like my go-to like get out of bed time for me.
That's different.
Mm.
I'll like wake up at 10 a.m. and then
Yeah,
I'll
same.
like I will wake like my
I
eyes
wish
will
I
open.
wish I could do that.
My eyes will open at 10 a.m. because I crash on weekends. It's like my body
I
knows
wish I could
it's
do
the
that.
weekend and then it just I knock out. Like I like fully like you can't wake me. Because
Hmm.
I think I sleep more lightly during weekdays. And then weekends, I just like Friday night, I will crash for 10 hours.
Hibernate.
Yeah. So like I I will wake up at 10 and then I will spend as much time as possible because I don't get really hungry that hungry in the morning. And I'll spend
Yeah.
as much time as possible in bed and then by like noon I'm like, okay, it's like the afternoon. Like I like there's no morning left. I probably need to get
I
out
should
now.
get up. Yeah, I mean, I've always said that the closest time I'll ever be like scammed out of money would be in the morning. If someone offered me $100 for just 10 more minutes, I might take it. Like the first 10 minutes I wake up, I'm scared how close I am at taking that offer if I was giving one. I don't know. I hate that. I hate getting out of bed in the morning. I relate to Minson so much. Like the only thing that can get me out of bed is hunger. So
Really?
I just like
I will stay in bed until I am hungry or until my dad comes and says, "Kevin, if you go to college like this, you will never live a life." And I was
oh
like,
my
I was
god.
like, I hard agree, but it's
But
comfortable. So I'm not leaving.
dude, that is so like WILD.
Wizard.
I would love to be like a person who gets up early because I think I am like a morning person. Like in the sense
I'm
that
not.
I'm very alert in the morning. Like
You
I've
just
never had
condition yourself to be like a sleeper.
well, that's the thing. I've never been like the kind of person because you know some people like first period it's like they're tired, they're sleepy. That's not
Yeah.
me. I by the time I've like gotten to school, like for me, even if I got 2 hours of sleep, by the time I'm up, if I've like brushed my teeth and washed my face and gotten changed, I'm like ready for the day. Like the energy level doesn't it's like I'll feel the exhaustion later, but for that first 5 hours or so, I'm exactly the same. So I just have like like I can wake up at 4 and I'm just up, you know, and I don't drink coffee or anything. It's just like my body's just like once I'm awake for a certain amount of
Mm,
time and then I start getting more tired as the day progresses. But
Yeah.
like it's like I think I get most tired between 3 and like 8. And then
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that,
yeah.
once again, I'm alert, which is bad because I have to start sleeping.
Yeah.
So it's like I wish so badly I could be the kind of person who wakes up at like 6 and like gets their day started early. Because I think I'd be good at it because
No,
I'm so
no,
good
no,
at
no.
because
You do
I
not want that.
function well in the morning, you know? I'm like really like I'm never tired. I'm like very I feel very energized in the mornings. Um and I don't have a problem getting my day started and I'm more focused in the mornings. But unfortunately, um
the bed
I'm
is
not
comfortable.
yeah. Unfortunately, I like sleep too. I like sleeping for a long time
Damn
too.
it!
So
Why does sleep have to be so comfortable? Yet so
I
time
know.
draining.
That's the
No,
thing.
like
I hate sleep, but
yeah.
like I need it.
Yeah.
Like I really sleep doesn't I don't enjoy I
I'm
don't like
I'm in a love-hate relationship with my sleep.
I could be exhausted and I never like it'll be like 3 in the morning and I'll be like I'm like tired. I'm falling asleep, but I'm like I don't want to sleep. There are
Exactly.
other things I could be doing. But then
Exactly.
the problem is
Perfect
once
mindset.
I do sleep, my body like does not take me out of it until I'm like I've like slept for as long as possible. So
Yeah. It's it's the weekends that get me as well. It's like those are the days I because I don't have alarms on weekends. Oh, speaking of alarms, are you guys the type of person who use one alarm or have like four?
One alarm.
Zero.
Because
Zero.
you don't use an alarm?
I have
I.
two.
Oh, really? Wait.
I have
I've
two. I have two.
yeah, I have like a because it's like a buffer, you know? It's like a how I'm feeling that day. Um,
No, I just do
but
my first alarm because I know my first alarm isn't gonna wake me up, but it will get me awake enough that the second alarm
right,
will.
right.
That's what I use it for.
No, but that's fair because I like because I think 90% of the time I don't actually leave my bed at my first alarm. Like sometimes, maybe 50% of the time, I'll wake up fully at my first
Yeah.
alarm, but I won't want to leave my bed. So I stay there for another 5, 10 minutes. But I think it is that's I'm probably the same as you then, Kevin. I
Mhm.
just need that first one to like let my body know that it's probably
It's
like
about
it's like a
time to get up.
warning.
Yeah.
It's like an advance warning for when
See,
I actually have to get up.
I completely understand that. So like I used to be a two alarm man myself, but like
You changed.
yeah, but then at some
He's
point I was
evolved.
like, but then at some point I was like, wait, like that's just taking away precious sleep time. Like why should I wake up to an alarm just to be woken up by another alarm? So I was like, screw that alarm. So now I get like 5 more minutes of extra sleep. Like
That's like pretty solid reasoning, I must say.
yeah, like
Like lose 5 minutes of why would I wake up 5 minutes early?
okay, but like the thing is that like I'm like I hate my how lightly I sleep. So I think it's also I'm just a light sleeper. So like
That's true,
the
yeah.
moment I wake up, I'm like I it's like aside from Saturdays where I just like wake up, sleep. Like I like once I wake up, like I just begrudgingly I have to wake up because I won't fall back to
You
sleep.
can't back to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so annoying. I'm glad I'm the kind of person who I can't fall asleep at night. I struggle so much to fall asleep at night. So the
I
Nocturnal.
last
know.
the
Nocturnal.
last two, like, high school has been honestly the best thing about being exhausted all the time is how easily sleep comes. Because I'm usually like I'm the type of person who, if I'm like not exhausted, if I'm not like dead tired, like actively falling asleep, then I cannot fall asleep. So it takes like at least 30 minutes. Like even if I feel
Fall asleep.
tired, it takes at least 30 minutes. And if I'm just
Yeah.
not
Okay, I get
tired,
that. Yeah.
if I'm like not tired at all, it'll just be hours and hours, and it'll be 4 in the morning, and I'll be like staring at the ceiling.
Really?
So yeah, so that's like my issue. But once I'm asleep, I usually stay asleep like the entire
I
night. So
wish.
that's good. I think that's very, very good.
Mhm.
It's just the first thing, the getting there, that's difficult for me.
That's so surprising to hear for me. Cause
Wow, what's your sleep like generally?
like after a certain threshold, it's usually 12 a.m. Like it starts. Like my drowsiness increases, and then like every hour it increases tenfold, and then like by 3, you bet your butt I'm sleeping.
He's
There's
gone.
there's no way I'm awake
You
at
can
3
tell
a.m.
from the number of late night calls you've fallen asleep on. Um, we've deduced that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the same way, that's how I'm able to wake up and be like, guitar for an hour, because I get the sleep that I need when I need it, and it's very
And,
consistent.
and you're done.
Yeah, and then I just wake up. I'm like, oh, it's a weekday. Oh, I know to wake up at like 6:30, and then, time for
Ah.
school. Like
It would be
my
so
body's just,
nice.
yeah,
It would be so nice to like, because consistent sleeping is like so healthy
yeah.
It
for
is the best.
you.
It is absolutely the best for
So
you.
like, it would be so nice if I could do that, but no.
Oh no, my sleep is the farthest from consistent. Like from like it's so bad. I it's so embarrassing to admit, but like on the weekdays I sleep at like 1 or 1:30,
Not
right?
bad.
Right. On Friday it goes from 1 to like 5.
Jeez.
I think like
What? Wait,
yesterday
sorry, what? It goes from one
from
to what?
1 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Anywhere around that time period he sleeps.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
Fridays and Saturdays, and then Sunday it goes back to one.
okay,
And I think my body's
that's
adjusted.
funny.
My body has adjusted to adjusting. Like I can now adjust and need. My body also has this weird thing where I can wake up on time if I really force myself to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can do that, right? Like
Yeah, I could do that
that's not
personally.
just me, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
okay,
I think so.
like if
I
you go to
think so.
sleep the previous night thinking, okay, I have to get up at exactly this time,
Yeah.
I will get up at exactly this time, even with
I
no
think
alarms.
for me, is very specifically triggered by my mom not being home. So, like, I'm not even kidding, because it's like anytime my mom, even if she's like, by the way, Minsun, tomorrow, I don't know, if it's like a weekend, let's say,
Hmm.
and I have something at like 10 in the morning, um, and I slept really late, but my mom told me the night before, by the way, I'm going golfing at like 6 in the morning and I
Yeah.
won't be back.
Golfing,
Like
of
my
course.
body will wake me up at 9:30, even if like on any other occasion that would not happen. And then so my you guys know how my mom was in Korea for like
Yeah.
Yeah.
months. So even before that, when she would take like 3 day trips away or something, like in the mornings, and I've known this since I was really young because in sixth grade, for a year, not a year, a week, she went to Korea for a family thing
Hmm.
in the middle of the school year. And for the first time, basically in 5 years, because I had been in sixth grade or something like that, um, for the first time in like my elementary school career, I woke up
Career.
early without any problem, without any
Whoa.
alarm, without anyone waking me. Like I just woke up 5 minutes before I needed to. Like and I was like, wow. So that was something I learned about myself in sixth grade. And then so that's something I've known. And so when she went to Korea this time for like a month and a half or
It
so,
happened again.
every like yeah, so every single day. Okay, so I set my alarms for 6:45 and 6:55. I never get out of bed before 6:45 ever. If I get out of bed, honestly, sometimes if I'm tired, I will stay in bed until 7:15. Like
Ooh.
that's how cuz I'll
Okay.
get ready and then I'll rush to school cuz I live close enough to
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
for the drive to be short. Um every single day I was up at 6:45, either before or at
And then
6:45.
Minsun's
And
body is just
when
like,
my and then so also because I knew I had to walk to school,
Mm.
so it would be like so, and then I knew like I couldn't rely on my mom for breakfast or anything like that. So I also knew I had to prepare my own breakfast. So every single day I was up at 6:45. I would get dressed and everything by 7 and brush my teeth by 7, and then I would get some breakfast, and then I would like make my own breakfast, and then I would like head out like walking to school. And when I told my mom that, she was like, "Are you kidding me? You can only do that when I'm not there." Because she gets like annoyed because I'm always late.
Uh,
no mother
So
detected, sleep
so
rejected.
this makes me it's like a very weird specific because even if my dad's home, like when my even if my dad's home and fully prepared to give me a ride and do everything for me, I still wake up like early.
mm.
So it's like very weirdly, very specifically tied to
Tied
my
to your
mom.
mom.
So I mean that gives me
Interesting.
hope that in college, at least for like the first 6 months or something,
Your
like
mom doesn't visit you.
no, that's not what I said. That's not what I was gonna say. I'm hoping that for at least for like the first like semester, I don't have trouble waking up. Like I'm not gonna be late all the time
I
because
pray to
like
God
my
you won't.
mom like my mom obviously isn't there to wake me because I'm sure by the end of college I'll have adjusted again to my mom not being there,
Mm.
and so that won't be there anymore. That like automatic
Mm,
like wake up trigger won't be there anymore. But hopefully, at least for like the first year or something, I can wake up on time.
let's hope so. Oh, I mean, I think sleep is always something I've struggled with in the sense of not sleeping early enough, but then once I hit to sleep, I'm not waking up for, like until like alarm sirens blare in my room because
Kevin, you and I are similar. Our sleeping is pretty similar.
our sleep is very similar
Yeah.
in the sense that I am impossible to wake up unless it's like vigorously shaking me. Although in recent years in high school, the sound of my dad going up the stairs itself has become the trigger of me waking up because I know if I don't wake up before that, I'm gonna get yelled at. So I pretend to be I force myself to be awake when I hear the steps going up the stairs, and I'm like
Dude,
I'm awake. Um,
literally, this is how, like, oh my God, Kevin, we are basically the same. Because I, like, so my room, you guys aren't really in my room a lot, but like, my room is, it's at the end of the hallway upstairs.
mhm.
And then so it's like, but my door faces like the entrance of to my room directly faces the stairs. So it's
Right.
like if my door's open, literally you can be outside my house. But since there's a window there, like
Oh,
you can
right, yeah, yeah.
see me sleeping.
Oh
Like
my.
so my
That's kind
room is
Oh,
of
wide my room is wide open. So the second someone turns the corner of the stairs, so it's like heading
you
upstairs,
can see it.
you can see everything that's happening in my room because my bed is like dead center.
Yes.
Um, dead center and like so it's like wide open. So if I'm at my desk and my door's open, the second you turn the stairs, you can see exactly that I'm at my desk, like using my computer. So
I'll be
it's
like
like
I'll walk to Vincent's house. I'll be like, is she
so
sleeping? And like, oh yeah, she is.
so like basically this happens a lot more for naps for me because uh this year I've been napping a lot more because I've been so tired. But even though when I was younger, up until junior year, I was physically unable to take naps. But this year, I've been taking a lot of naps. Oops. Um, so it's like I will be in a deep, deep nap. Like it will be like it's been 3 hours and I'm basically just
Mhm.
sleeping at night. You know, like
Yeah,
I will
I
be
got
like
that.
out cold, fully dreaming, like in the middle of a vivid dream, and then I wake up, and then why did I wake up? Because I heard the creaking of the stairs. Because my door's open.
Yeah.
So if I fall asleep with my door open and then I hear the creaking of the stairs, it like jolts me awake. And then I'll go back to sleep like 5 minutes after, but like I'm like because I know the second they turn the stairs, like it's like my entire room is just open. You know what I mean? Like they can like walk in and
Vulnerability
do
is open
anything. So like it's like a weird psychological
thing.
like yeah, because they literally won't pay attention to me at all. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, she's napping," like to themselves, and they'll just walk into their room and sleep and not bother me at all, and like not even look in my direction. but it's just the awareness, like from the creaking, that my room and my entire environment is wide open. That just it like jolts me
Yeah.
awake. It's
Another
crazy.
similarity that I noticed is our naps in Minsun. Daniel knows too well
Okay,
that
yeah.
I knock out cold in my naps. It's like it's not like usually it's like a people tell me it's like a gamble. It's like, oh, maybe it's like a 30-minute nap, maybe it's like a few hour nap. No, for me it's like always a few hour nap. Like this one time I remember so clearly that I went to sleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I came up from school, and I woke up at 9. I woke up at 8:30, right? And I remember looking at my watch because my room was completely dark because when I went to sleep, the room was sunlight, right? Someone was filling the room, so it was dark when I woke up. And I looked at my watch; it said 8:30, and there's no easy like AM to PM thing on my watch. So I was like, "Holy crap! I slept the whole night." So I went downstairs. I ran downstairs, and I was like, "Oh shoot, we're late." Not realizing it's 8:30 p.m. And my dad's like, "Yo, you woke up? Eat dinner." So like it was
That's
so
the
weird.
That's the best because that's happened to me a couple times where I like because that happens when you don't realize that you've fallen asleep for me.
Yes,
So
yes.
like if you take a nap without like unintentionally and you wake up and you have no idea what's going on, um,
Okay.
and the clock
Yeah.
blurrily like I shove my glasses on and I'm like, oh my God, 6:30, and then I'm
Oh
like, wait,
no.
6:30, or like more specific or more it'll be like 7:30, and I'll be
Hmm.
like 7:30, wait,
I gotta go.
and then I'll like sit up really quickly and I'll
Yeah.
like rummage around for my phone and I'll be like 7:30, and then I'll realize in like another minute it's like 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, yeah. That's the best. That's the best feeling of not being
The
late.
relief, yeah.
The relief of, oh shoot, it was just a nap. Don't worry. Anyways, that was a long tangent about sleep. Oh my god. We should have become
Sleeping patterns are
the sleep
interesting.
topic. Sleep topics are really interesting, but it relates to senior year because this is the first year that my sleep pattern has been so screwed up.
Mm.
Oh wait,
Because
was
I've been
is that how we got on the tangent?
actually I don't even remember how we got on tangent. I think
I
we're just
don't know.
talking about like going late to school or something like that.
School, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else senior year is it really besides just us screwing up our life in terms of sleep and stuff?
This is the last year we get to screw up our
Yeah,
lives if we
No,
can.
Yeah,
literally.
pretty much.
we gotta take advantage of that, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Although
the entire next month, uh, expect Minsun to be an absolute wreck. Just unrecognizable. Just just only doing what she wants at all times.
rebel.
Rebel.
I mean that kind of is already kind of happening, right?
I
Like this
guess.
is the last
Definitely more so this year.
this year than
I
usual.
if my like eighth grade self knew what I've like my senior year self, she'd be like
Disgusted.
she wouldn't believe it like at all. Because it's not that I haven't drastically changed. I'm just like so
More
much
free, more
less
free.
uptight. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm still very uptight about certain things, but like in like specific areas, I'm like,
Not anymore.
yeah. So, because I am an uptight person that like by nature about most things,
Mm.
but like there are certain areas where like, whoa, like I can't believe she did that.
Yeah, for me, I think the main like hint of senior, the flavor of senior, is looking on the juniors I met this year and going, "Wow, they have a
They're
whole
so
year ahead of them.
dedicated.
You're so dedicated."
They're so hardworking.
I remember when I was hardworking.
You mean never?
Whoa.
uh,
No, I mean,
No, you
to
did
be
very
fair,
well on your play, so clearly you
yeah,
that's true. That's true. That's
yeah.
I
true.
have my priorities, but not in the
Exactly.
academic department.
It's
Exactly.
not an academic department.
No,
I
I
think
I
William,
prioritize theater over everything this year
you did. Well, I mean, you
because
makes sense. You were the manager.
once you spend 4 or 5 months on something, like once you
Yeah.
dedicate
yeah.
that much time to something, and then it's not like, because the payoff for us isn't like, it is 3 live shows. Like,
Mm,
like there's no like, the payoff isn't a recording or like something like a visible, tangible thing.
like a
It is
number.
simply 3 live shows that have to be successful. So
Yeah.
it's like once you've spent 4 hours a week, four 4 hours a day, 4 days a week
Yeah.
for months and months and months working on that one
Yeah,
end
how
goal,
how can you
Yeah.
not be dedicated?
Yeah.
then if you don't prioritize that and make sure that's as perfect as it can be, then all of it feels like it was for absolutely nothing.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Like I think even no matter who in the position would also feel the same, and that you just can't you kind of have to get like dedicated to that. Like
Yeah.
it kind of forces you to
Yeah, because
become
it's
part of
also
the environment.
you're not even like you're not like performing three live shows for a prize. You're literally just performing three live shows to perform three live shows. Like there's no
Yeah.
like other thing. That's like the end
No, well,
goal
yeah,
is the
that's the goal.
performance.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my God.
Did we get to that goal?
I think we were successful. We put on three good shows.
Yeah. I mean,
Sebastian forgetting his line the second day.
oh gosh.
Uh, that was
But see, it
fun.
was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
He recovered.
He recovered. Recovery was important. Was
Wait,
important.
Minsun, how is it for you? Like, I like being an actor. I have no idea what it's like being backstage. Doing all the stagehand stuff, and then you being the head, pretty much. What's it
It's a
like?
very vague question.
Oh,
It's a
no,
very
cause I remember you telling me once, like, oh, I think the freshmen are intimidated by me. Like, I give off this sort of like
She
dictator
does.
vibe.
If I didn't
well,
know if
especially
I didn't know
in
Vincent, I would also be
theater.
scared.
I think specifically in theater, I'm a lot more scary, because I'm in like an authority position.
Mm.
So I'm like actively bossing people around. But like, I don't know. It's like very, very like stressful to be
Right. Yeah.
backstage because you're not like, you're not, you can't control anything that's happening on stage at
Oh.
all. You can't control like even like the state like the actual transitions that like I personally devised and directed.
You don't do them yourself.
I don't do that myself.
Right.
Yeah,
So
so it's
like
kind of just hoping everything goes to
you can't
plan.
control anything, but you're also somehow in charge of everything. So like because you're literally because like we call places,
Right.
we like we give lights the cues, we like et cetera et cetera et cetera. Like I personally like have like created every single movement in the show,
Yeah.
you know like but I can't control any of that. But we're the only communication if
Mm.
if something's gone wrong, if we need to like if someone's mic isn't working, if so it's like,
Yeah.
but we don't do any of that ourselves. So it's like very stressful.
Hmm.
um
So Vincent's like air traffic control for like airplanes. It's just like hoping that everything goes well that she planned out.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the kind of the stress comes with that position of
Yeah,
even though you laid it out, you don't have control of how it goes.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
You just
interesting.
have to
big
like
big
trust
props.
that everyone will
Cross.
do everything right.
Yeah.
But then you also have to, you're like in charge of all of them.
Hmm.
But you like, so it's like, it's weird, but it's like, I mean, I think I'm like
I'm
suited
sure it's
for
very
it because I'm
rewarding
like,
after it's done, right? Like for
it
you.
is. But I think I'm suited for it because I'm so like organized
Yeah.
and I'm very like uptight about like in that way. I'm
Hmm.
very this has to be this. So that's why I think it like works for me. Because I'm very like, I'm very meticulous.
Yeah.
So it ends up like, because if like you are like meticulous, then everyone else feels like they have to be
Right.
Right.
On
meticulous, and
their
then things
game.
don't go wrong. So like,
And yeah, the fact
Well,
that you're
that's kind of
clear
like
is probably the biggest.
that's probably the most important thing about being a leader, right? That you can give the sense of
Yeah.
things are organized to your people that are
Now you know
following
what
you.
it's like to be a leader.
well, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, William, how is it like on your end to
Um.
like with me,
Well,
like as stage manager?
for me,
Awful.
I think
Be honest.
like the kind of things that you feel, I think are completely opposite to the things I feel. Because for me, it's I have control only of myself, but because I'm on stage, I have like so much power or influence, you could say.
Hmm.
In terms of like the backstage stuff, I don't know. I just like I never really see anything wrong with it. I'm just like Yeah, that's normal. That's doing their thing, and then I'm just
See,
focused on my own bubble of
that's
acting.
the thing. That's the thing, like about like actors. Not that this is just like intrinsic to being like I think like an
Stage.
actor in the cast, like because you're like, and I totally understand what you're saying about like even though like because like in a way all the pressure's on you
Hmm.
because you are visible. Like
Right.
if you do something wrong, they notice.
Yeah.
But like it's also because you have total control over what you're doing on stage, like it gives you have like power. Because
Yeah.
it's the same way I enjoy like public speaking or like presenting to like a crowd because you have control over what they're hearing and like what you know. But like
Mm.
we've discussed this before, William, but it's like um to me, the actors on stage doing whatever they're doing on stage are like one component of like a much bigger thing that's going on.
Yes.
So like every single movement in the show, every curtain that's moving, every prop that's moving, like every light cue, every time like a costume changes, like I keep track of all of that. And so I have to make sure all of that is going fine. And like all the actor has to do is make sure they're doing
Take the foot in the
Yeah.
fine.
position.
Like they personally are doing exactly what they need to do.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like, and then because they're like up front, like they sort of like the presentation we put on, they are like at the front of that presentation. They're like the face,
Yeah.
right? And then everything else that's going on is like
Yeah. You're
so
like the
like you don't really
backbone.
yeah, so like you don't really notice anything else that goes on
Yeah, that's
because
the point.
yeah, and that's like the whole
Yeah.
Right.
because
Right.
if it were because I promise you if it were going badly, if things were not going well,
You would
everything
absolutely notice.
would yeah, you would absolutely notice. So the whole point is that if you're not noticing anything, like you were telling me like you literally didn't recognize one of the people who sets up your scene.
Yeah.
Um like if they like if that went wrong, you would notice them. You would recognize them
Yeah.
because it always went well because continuously like every moving part like always went fine
Hmm.
and it didn't affect your like performance on stage that everyone else can see,
Mm.
like you didn't notice it,
Yeah.
which is like which is literally the way it's designed, right? So it's
Yeah.
like really interesting because it's like, yeah, for me, it's like, because like I said, I have a 7-page document, um,
You told me
like,
about yeah.
yeah, of every single transition in the show.
Mhm.
And you
Like
guys are on, like the cast is on that document, the
yeah.
dancers are on that document, like my crew is on that document.
Yeah.
I have every every cue for every line and every song that everyone follows on that document, and the actors are sort of just there sprinkled in when they do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like a much bigger picture.
Broader picture than
Uh,
William sees.
like yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like that's really interesting. I feel like that's just like the nature of that.
Yeah. Also, the
Because
fact that you do all the work but get no credit. You know.
see,
What do you
I
mean?
think that's
Minsun gets
interesting as well.
plenty. She deserves all the credit
No,
for this
I mean
show.
like no one realizes just how much work the stage crew does. You know.
Well,
Yeah, because I think
isn't
it's
that
like
in itself like the credit you'd want?
right. I
Like,
think because like a good stage crew is like like a good backstage sort of working. Like it's like if you barely think about it, where it goes
Right.
so smoothly
yeah.
and it's so like it's such a well-oiled machine that you don't even notice
Hmm.
anything other than the actors.
Yeah.
So,
So I guess
and I
the
think
biggest compliment you could get would be like, I didn't even notice like the
yeah. Oh
transitions.
yeah, I had no idea you guys were working so hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's the best.
Because like every transition for us is like an ordeal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Hmm.
like especially like the big ones, like all the cake ones where the curtain closes.
Oh yeah.
Every member of stage crew moves and does something, and then we need to enlist some of the actors to do some of it too. Like everyone has like 2 or 3 different jobs in the
Yeah.
span of 30 seconds.
Hmm.
Um, but then all the people up front see is curtain closes, curtain opens. Oh,
Is
look, it's a
ready.
new
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
Wow.
Something
That
new
just
there.
magically
It's
appeared.
Yeah,
pretty
that
magic.
just
It
magically
actually is
happened.
pretty magical if you think about it. Like
Yeah.
that transition, which is really cool. I think that's like the magic of theater that it's great to experience when you go.
And then so like, because we also it's like during that transition, like, because Kayla and I, what we had to do is we had to plan it so that in those moments where the curtains close, so we have more freedom, um, like everything opens up. So like Kevin, I guess you wouldn't see that, but like the back traveler opens up so that everything comes out, everything's rearranged so that for future scenes,
Hmm.
like or that like two scenes later, someone can pull out a panel easily,
Ooh,
or
I see. So
someone can move
it's like
something.
a
So
whole
it's
two
like
steps ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we had to conceive of it for it all to work. Because it's like the actual transitions from scene to scene have to be what, 5, 10 seconds.
Hmm.
So they have to be smooth. They have to be really easy. It has to be a couple steps,
Yeah.
you know? Like
Minson's playing
so
4D chess with herself.
so in that time we have when everything's closed, the panel has to be turned so that turned and moved to, the other side of the stage, or, this panel has to be like whatever, or this
Right,
thing has to
right.
be set up here so
S-
that
So it's
later
so much more
maybe
than just getting into position, but more so getting it into position so that the future scenes could also work out, not just the next scene.
yeah.
That's incredible.
So
That's
it's like
fantastic as background information.
so it's like very involved.
Hmm.
So this is why when Sebastian earlier, like way earlier, like months ago, Sebastian kept forgetting his cue to go on for one of his songs in Act
Mm.
Two, Pie Part Three, because he has to be standing like behind the curtain in front of his panel so that the curtain opens
Hmm.
on him,
Right.
and he kept forgetting. He forgot it a couple times, and it was really early on, and like that's like understandable. But for me, when I could like recite to you what every single person in my crew, every dancer, every cast member, like every single person is like, I could tell you exactly what every single person is doing at any moment, at any line in the show. For him to
Wow.
not be able to remember one cue was like really frustrating for me.
Right.
Minson was judging. Minson was like,
I was like, yeah, because
pathetic.
I was like, I can tell you exactly what line Tyler opens this curtain
And yet,
in this song while,
You
three
can't find a
other members of
place.
stage crew are preparing this table
right.
in the wings while this cast member is going to the other side of the stage. So someone else, like it's like I remember all of that and he couldn't remember one thing.
Yeah.
So it was like that's why that was so frustrating for me.
No, yeah.
So I really
But
like I had to like drill it in his head that like you
yeah.
just gotta remember that one thing, man. Like, um,
And this is
because
why they say
obviously
Minson's scary.
there's like because obviously the actors are doing really, really hard work. They're going
Right.
out and they're like putting their heart and soul out there and they're singing and they're dancing. They have to remember all of that stuff too.
Yeah.
But when it's like one like piece of that like big like thing, like of
Mm-hmm.
that big picture that isn't working for me because you couldn't remember one cue,
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
No, yeah, but I think that's part of the sort of personality of the actor. I think because we're so focused on, and I mean, I don't know if I can say this for like all the actors, but I think just in general, we're so focused on our own little, and I think the majority of us are sensitive to what we're portraying out to the audience. Like, I'm sure we can all like we're very self-aware in that sense. So I
Mhm.
think for someone like Sebastian being, especially because he has trouble remembering his lines, I think
Yes.
for him, he's trapped in his own little bubble of, oh, how am I going to portray myself to the audience with no inkling about, oh, wait, I have a cue here kind of thing, you know? That's just that's just the
That's
role of
just
the
how
actor.
actors are, I
Yeah.
think.
Mhm.
Which is you can't blame them. That's kind of just what their job is.
Right, exactly.
To,
That's like the point. That's like why I'm there, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like so like
we need someone in the
it's like
background to do
more like so it's
the
like so
queuing.
someone else is like watching all of it happen.
Right. No,
Um
yeah, we play with each other hand in hand. It's like a very
yeah, like that's like the way it's supposed to work.
yeah.
Um theater like taught me so much about like like
That's good.
things like collaborative projects,
Like
like
worldly
how to make
knowledge.
something work.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
how to make something work, but there are so many different like things involved,
Right.
like factors involved. So it was very valuable in that sense because
Yeah.
I really had to like exercise my brain. I think my like that's the reason I like clocked out of school a lot more
Oh.
because I had to use my brain in rehearsal
That's
every single
crazy.
day.
Wow.
Like I had to remember, like I had to use so much more brain like power
Mm,
on rehearsal because I had to figure out how this was going to happen and
right.
remember how this was going to happen and learn exactly every, like I had to
Yeah.
remember all of that and like actively think about it so that because your brain sort of like because that's like brain, that's not like
Brain power.
Yeah.
instinct. That's like in the way because like actors like obviously they like memorize stuff and they do stuff,
Uh-huh.
but at the end of the day, when they go out on stage on like opening night, that's like instinct. It's like
Yeah.
in their body, right? Like the song, like it's like
Mm-hmm.
in you. But for me, it's much more like I have to like use my critical thinking skills
Yeah.
and
Also,
like
mm-hmm. It's not like in math class. It's not like they teach you how to like stay organized and like how to like be in control of like all these little moving parts. But I think it's just a very valuable skill that you can't
I
learn
agree.
anywhere else. Like whether
Yeah.
it's being an actor or being in the stage crew, like two very different
You're part
sets
of
of
a
skills.
bigger thing that you will never be able to experience
Yeah,
in many other places in high school.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that's part of the beauty of theater is being able to pick up on all those skills that
hmm
you otherwise can't just learn. Like a teacher can't like tell you facts and you
Yeah.
just
hmm
I know how to critically
Experience is
think
the best
now.
teacher.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
go through the grueling 4 months of endless pain and time sacrificed to learn that.
Yeah. Is it worth it? Who knows?
I guess so.
We'll see in the
It's too
future.
late now.
Yeah. We can't
Too
take
late
back.
now to like ask, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, and with that, I think we can
Yes.
end our
Yeah.
podcast for
I think that
today.
was well over an hour.
Oh yeah, an hour 45 minutes.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Don't worry.
well,
It'll
I
be a
mean,
juicy
we
one.
did cover mainly senior year. I feel like every topic we hit has some relevance to this year, which was our main goal from
Yes.
the beginning. And it makes sense. We talk about the main things that were in our lives this year. So hopefully that was
The main
entertaining.
things. Yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the Forecast podcast with uh your
Me,
characters William.
Kevin.
Minsun?
Daniel.
Yes. um. Find us on YouTube and nowhere else because we don't do Spotify or Apple Podcast or anything else.
Of course, the best platform.
Yeah. And do we tell them to like and subscribe?
No,
No? Okay.
you must like and subscribe.
Oh, you must. Oh, it's
Yeah.
not even a question.
It's,
You
it's
have
not
to
an
press
option.
that.
You have to.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Am I subscribed to you, William? That's so awkward.
I don't know. Are you?
Hold
Well,
on.
if you aren't, then you can just go to youtube.com/Wilson
Oh my
PPM.
god.
Click the link
All right,
down
I'm leaving. I'm
below.
leaving. I'm leaving.
Okay, that's it.
Cutting it. Goodbye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
In love.